Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Ashen Cast, and today we're having a look at a mid-lane game of the Mid King. Do you know who that is? That is goddamn freaking right. It is the man, the myth, the legend. It is Showmaker himself here in Korean Challenger. And he will be playing Viego in the mid lane. So, just recently, I have had a look at a game played by a guy called Need Her. He is a Korean high elo player that plays Viego in the mid lane. Now, I unfortunately wasn't able to find any replays of him, but I really wanted to look at how this pick looks and works versus something as oppressive as Syndra. Now, this replay is a little bit older, but it is still from the preseason, so we should be fine. And I am looking forward to this. Ooh, this is obviously okay. This is such a good trade already. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you can really tell how little options he has. So we will see. I mean, Showmaker, he generally is a pretty decent player. Yeah, did I really just say that? He is an amazing player. I mean, but what I wanted to say is he's a very good player at that spacing part. Maybe not as stellar as the good Chovy, you know, not his evil brother Choki, but the good one. Ooh, WQ. Okay, good trade, but gotta be careful here. Ooh, interesting. So no counter trade. Yeah. So this is what I expected from this matchup, though. Very, very difficult for Viego to gain a footing. Fortunately, his Q gives him a lot. Oh, you know that he wanted to flash, by the way. He was setting up his double. Yes, this is way too obvious. Yeah, I think that was actually a mistake to make it this obvious. Okay, that was good. Right, he's dodging the Syndra abilities, but yeah, Syndra trades herself. Oh, and the kill goes over to Elise. Ooh, that's rough. I mean, the wave state is still okay. All right, we are prioritizing boots over heal potions here, by the way, which I find very interesting. Now, Syndra is in an amazing situation where Viego, not so much. I mean, the wave state is still okay for him, so he didn't lose that much. So yeah, the last hitting here now is basically a Kali style last hitting, right? This is basically what we're doing. And okay, he caught that minion. I hate it when these melee minions randomly just decide to they're like, nah, I gotta walk into the back line. Gotta attack the back line from the back, by the way. So what happened to the Elise? Why is there no Elise picking? Did Elise just throw it out willy-nilly? Is that what happened? Ooh, Silas shows up. Bada boom, bada bam. Ooh, beautiful trade by Showmaker as he picks up Silas, and now, ooh, yeah, now this fight is over. Absolutely done. No W available, unfortunately. But, oh, the trade, the fourth shot. Yeah, this is great for Showmaker. Ooh, will he catch the Syndra here? Ah, the Syndra. Force of nature just too strong. But kill picked up as well. And he will obviously not take the transform there, but beautiful play. And this is what Viego does if you make one mistake. Like, this was just a positioning error. And it just snowballed out of control like that, right? Crazy. This was literally just Silas overestimating how strong he is. Because Silas he becomes very strong with one item, but without one item, you know, if you don't have all those points in W yet, you're kind of questionably strong, and especially if you compare it to like long time skirmish type beast like Viego, right? Who's just very good in these like very long fights. Something that Silas is usually the master at. And then he picks up the Silas, and from that point on, dude, oh no. I mean, you know, give those chains to a champion that wants to be in melee range anyway. Basically at that point has 2 abilities as well, right? Like two champions. 2 sets of abilities. Absolutely amazing. Obviously, he didn't even have his ultimate, right? Which, once he becomes his ultimate, his possesses become much stronger. So he's trying to do Q-poke here a little bit, but as you can see, can't quite find that. I need to disable notifications from Steam. I'm very sorry. Alright, so we are shoving in this wave and then hopefully going for a ward, right? Trying to acquire some vision. Syndra can tell where he places the control ward, so what you can do is you can always check it and then just kind of gauge from how long he has been gone. This one, you kind of know where he placed that one, right? He does have a lot of vision, so I'm expecting him to hover into the bot side here. Syndra could try to manipulate him into the top side, but with Jhin being there, we obviously have to hover top side instead. Are we checking on... what are we doing? Taking the honey fruit. Smart play. Very, very smart play. Let's see how this one goes. In a good position. Ultimate is available here. Why is Jhin level 4? Can someone explain to me? Is Jhin just 1 and 5? Wait, Jhin! I didn't even realize! I didn't even realize this is a Jhin support. Oh my god, dude! Can I? It's so hard to get a. It's so hard to get a Viego mid game versus control makers. Which, by the way, I assume is because Viegos never really do well. Alright, we're gonna see this through. Silas still doing very good. This is challenging, dude. Welcome to preseason, man. What the hell? Got his rewards and now he's playing freaking Jhin support. I'm surprised this game went through. I suppose everyone was out of dodges. That must have been it. Otherwise, how does this game even... like, I would have never tried that. There are support of meta picks that I can tolerate, but this is not one of them. Let me tell you. Jhin support. What are you going to do? Use your traps? Go AP Jhin? No, I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it at all. Poor Lucian, like he could have had a Braum, you know, could have had a Morgana, could have had so many good supports, could have had a Nami, obviously, right? That's the obvious one. Could have had so much better stuff. And now we're stuck with this. Okay. Jhin, that's 160. Yikes. Alright, but yeah, so you can tell how Showmaker is not able to get those. And generally, there is usually a very big skill gap between these, let's say, pro players, right, that don't play that much solo queue, between these pro players and their opponents. So yeah, it's you know, it's a rough situation. Obviously, you know, it is a pick worth exploring versus stuff like the Silas. Oh. Yeah, this is a kill picked up onto Silas. Viego, but yeah. I think the Jin pickup wasn't too good. I mean, it really didn't matter. He was dead at one way or another. He did his best. What is this lock camera, huh? What is... Oh my lord. I'm sorry, but we can't be picky here. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it is so hard to find replays of this guy that we're kind of stuck with this subpar shit. Chisel. Great. So, a couple seconds. Forward. Okay, so obviously Elise is doing good, right? Viego also in a very good position. I mean, the build, we're not surprised. It's the Blade of the Rune. Should be... It's just a very good item on here. Cinder throwing turrets back at Viego. He's like, here! Take this back, you... Out of here, bitch. Alright, kill picked up onto Kesante. Very interesting that Viego got this one with a Rengar presence. Oh, this is Rengar King, by the way. Yo! We just recently did a review on the Rengar King. If you're interested in that, find it on my channel. The last video. Try to link that as well, as we see Jin almost die to the frickin' Heimerdinger turret versus one masked psychopath. Who wins? Well, almost the Heimerdinger turret, so that's not a good look for you, Jin. But I mean, yeah, Jin not doing too hot. Let's put it that way. Jin not doing too hot with his Umbral Glaive. I mean, it makes a lot of sense on Jin, you know. I will not, you know, I won't argue with that part, but yeah, you know, he's kind of a trash Senna, you know. He's kind of a terrible version of Jenna. I like the Jin, if you want him, off-meta Jin. Either Jin Min, which is like the obvious one. But this is what I'm a big fan of. Jin jungle. You just pre-stack traps and you actually do pretty good versus the camps. Which I love, because I'm one of these psychopaths. I don't know if you guys play Path of Exile. However, I'm one of these psychopaths that play trappers and miners. So I kind of like the playstyle where you're like setting up a bunch of these traps and kind of exploding the camps. That is definitely a champion that I would love. Would be like a trap-based champion. You know, like a trap-focused champion. But of course, yeah, Showmaker caught in a very awkward position there, by the way. I just stopped casting the game for a second. Jin. Jin, what are we doing? Oh my god. Alright. So, Lee's doing very hot, which is good and bad, because Elise generally pretty good, but at this point of the game, the jungler being ahead counts for much less than it used to. So, obviously back in the day, you would say, yeah, you know, level 10 to level 9 smite, or then when the smite rework happened, you would say, oh yeah, this is you know, this could be like an evolved smite versus not evolved smite, and also champions still dealt more damage. But nowadays doesn't really matter that much. for the jungle objectives, so being ahead as a jungler. I mean, you're still the champion, is still ahead, right? But Viego being that ahead versus her being that ahead in team fights is going to matter much, much less on the Elise. Doesn't mean that she can't be strong anyway. As Viego will find a kill for himself with a beautiful Heimerdinger long range E there. This is what makes Heimerdinger ridiculous, is playing around Fog of War and hitting those stuns as the Heimerdinger goes down. Rather unfortunate situation there. Showmaker, it feels like Showmaker didn't even see that. Like, he didn't even look at that. Which I find interesting. Go onto Jin picked up. Ooh, wait, hold on. We have, we have the Umbro dude. Oh my god, dude, this Jin. Oh my god. I feel so bad for this dude. Alright, Rengar King. Another PP trade. Nice stun. Yeah, so I would expect him to drop into the side lane a little bit more here. Obviously, this is always kind of the thing with stuff like Viego and also like Zoe and stuff. The kill for Elise, by the way. And Zoe and stuff, where you kind of want to be where the fighting's at, but you also kind of don't want to be there. Jin with the perfect setup here. 500 IQ and the bouncing grenade picks up a kill. Jin is worth money again. I would call that a W for the red team, even though right now this whole situation is turning out very, very favorable here for the blue team, as you can see. We'll skip forward to Viego showing back up. Very, very interesting. And now Jin and Lucian go down. Yeah, this is not a situation that you get out of. Rengar King on the prowl here. As he will take down the Silas and Sante as well. Baron take now available as Showmaker elects to chase Syndra. Very beautiful force of nature by Syndra, but you're not going to run away from both of these. Yep. Kill picked up by Showmaker, which is very good for him. Honestly, I think Rengar could use kills a little bit more than he can right now, but because like this is an interesting thing as Viego, it's always kind of weird because if you're far ahead, oftentimes it's better to like use the transform into a champion or like the possession to use that to dodge skills like a Z ultimate rather than, you know, for damage, because like the enemy team doesn't have items. So very interesting. It is a rough situation as Viego goes down once again. We're going to skip over. But you see how little he is playing in the side lanes here, right? 160 farm is the highest farm value in this game. This game does not feel like it is a high elo game. Because if you look at the farm values, this is what I have like in platinum. This is what I have to do. This is not people farming. And then it's also like a, you know, super high kill game, and it's just such a low level of play. It's like everyone's just fighting constantly. And I mean, you know, you would too if you had a Jin on the enemy team that has 13 deaths. It is what it is. It is what it is. He still has positive kill participation, right? So you know, he's not doing that bad. Also, by the way, I want to point out that Showmaker here elects to go for a different item. This is pretty much the standard item. This is not a shield bow. And I believe, I don't want to be that guy, but I believe that is probably the mistake. Oh, surrendered by the enemy team. Okay, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. But I want to finish this point for everyone that stayed around for this long. So I think that the thing with Silas here, with Viego here, is that shield bow allows you much more staying power and is a much better item on high economy. What I mean with high economy is that if you're, you know, in the side lanes, you're last hitting, you're a laner. You're not a jungler who's like levels behind. You're a laner who's split pushing, who's supposed to be levels ahead. I think at that point, it is pretty decent. However, what you see Showmaker do here instead is he is playing a low econ, basically a roaming Viego, right? Where he goes for lower econ items and he does this like low econ playstyle where he doesn't pick up a lot of CS, right? He is below his jungler and below his top laner in CS, and that is at not only CS but also XP, because he elected to just ignore his side lane and just participate in fights. All right, thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one, and stay awesome.